Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We did have a delay. Hopefully, the issues we encountered are a lot better now. Um, we did adjust our settings, so do let us know, but it looks like our connection is better. As I said, there was a lightning delay. It looks like we're going to kick off here at 2:10 instead. Um, as I said, slight issues with our technology today, but we are back on it, as they say, back on it. The teams are once again warming up here. Reminder, we're still here in Sacramento, which is a wicked place. American River does have great facilities down here, down south of Bellingham, where we're initially from. It is 8-0 to Western Washington here, as I said, in Sacramento and American River. We'll catch up back to you closer to kickoff.
Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thanks for tuning in. As you can see, the boys are getting warmed up here. We're about 8 minutes or so from the projected restart time. Thankfully, we've kept the equipment pretty dry. There was quite a good downfall here. I loaded some of the behind-the-scenes footage up onto the parents' feed on Western Washington Rugby Group, so you will get to see kind of what the outside broadcast unit for WWU Rugby looks like. Again, thankfully, there is a bit of rolling thunder we can still hear. Again, the delay here was because of lightning. There are official regulations by USA Rugby that if lightning is within a mile of the actual event, that everyone has to go into cover. So the boys are actually huddled up in the men's bathroom here. All the actual people attending the event, all the supporters are actually in a car park garage that was nearby. And then again, once it's cleared the area after about a mile, there's a certain time delay before we can get started. So again, provided the lightning keeps moving in the right direction away from us, we are projecting to start in just over 7 minutes or so. Again, this is obviously the quarterfinals for the D1AA. The winner here goes to the Nationals the weekend of May 1st to 3rd, I believe, in Indianapolis. So hopefully those tuning in will maybe book their tickets to go support their team. And we'd love to obviously see everyone out in person in terms of being able to support the team going to Nationals and their bid to do so. Again, very thankful. There's a good crowd of support here for both teams, particularly for the Western Washington support. And I've spoke to a number of the supporters traveling in from the Washington area and Portland and a number of other areas to support the team. Really appreciate the support. Also to those that have donated to help the team travel here. I know there was some calls for donation to make sure. Okay. Uh, those again donations again appreciated in terms of making sure the team was well fed and watered here, and I know the boys have really very much appreciated that. So again, thank you to all the support that's been giving the team getting here so far. The score stands at the moment 8-0 to Western Washington. I believe there's about 12 or so minutes left of the first half once we restart play, so it will be a short 12 minutes before there is a half time again. And then before the second period itself. So still a good amount of time to go in the game. We're up by one try. Western's up by one try. No conversion and then a penalty in the first half. So far, it's been a pretty even game. As you might imagine, with the downfall of the weather that we've had, there's been some unforced errors on both teams. Ball handling difficult in these conditions with driving rain. In particular, that driving rain has been towards Western Washington, so that doesn't help in terms of obviously visibility. 5 minutes till restart, I've just been told. So again, difficult conditions that the boys have done well weathering through. We've been largely playing into the wind as Western Washington, but largely played a good possession and territory game, largely keeping the game in ARC's 22, or certainly in their half. Some good pressure turnovers created the opportunity to score a try in the first half of Western, and then a good couple of turnovers, one that resulted in the penalty over itself. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to capitalise on a couple of unforced errors. Again, certainly ARC is competing for everything. They've got some big boys that are charging well and also tackling well and getting over the ball. So again, it's going to definitely be more of the same in terms of getting to scraps. It does seem that the weather has settled quite a lot. We're sheltered under a tent here, but from what I can feel of the environment, it's certainly the sideways driving wind and rain has dropped considerably. Hopefully that will also help with the broadcast quality. But it's going to make it more of an even game, which should play into the favour of the Vikings. Again, they've been really on the receiving end of really trying to run into the bad wind and weather overall. Got a scoreboard up. Finally have the scoreboard up. So the other thing, we had a slight technical hitch at the start, getting ready again with the wind and the weather and trying to put ourselves in a secure location that we didn't quite have time to get the scoreboard set up properly. That is now set up in the graphics package. So again, you can see 28 minutes on the clock, 8-0 to Western. So it's going to be a quick 12 minutes here before we get to halftime once we do restart. Again, about 3 minutes according to my watch in terms of getting started. Both teams out getting warmed up for the second half. Well, more Western getting warned by as I look at the pitch right now, and ARC just standing around waiting, but that's okay. We all have different forms of warm-up that we consider being ready for the game itself. We're just waiting to find our cameramen to get back on duty in preparation for the game start. Haven't seen the ref come out yet to get us started. We're a couple of minutes away from hopefully getting the game restarted and hopefully no more delays. It does seem the weather has moved through the area as opposed to circling. So we should be clear from this point forwards to have a good 12 minutes of the first half, and there'll be our usual, I believe it's a 10-minute break, and then we'll be into the second half of the game as well. Okay, it looks like the officials are just about to get us started here. I think you're getting a good live shot of George Jelly there on camera as the camera's restarted. When you see the assistant ref on this side of the pitch coming over, getting himself into position. So some good signs that we'll be getting started soon. Okay, unlike obviously halftime stoppage, we will be restarting from the last play. So it is starting from a scrum. I believe it will be Western ball, but let's see where we get started here. Oh no, okay. So it looks like actually no, sorry. Here's that we're restarting from a American River penalty. Sorry, yep, American River penalty. They've chosen a tap and go. 18 running hard into the Western defense. Again, everyone's had chance to have a decent delay and regain their energy and muscle. So again, American using that restart to conserve some energy, but a good turnover by Western. Lazy carry really given the conditions. It looked like he just dropped the ball whilst going down in the tackle. So knock on, and it's a Western ball. It's going to be a scrum down to Western. Okay. Okay. Oh, we've lost the. There we go. Okay, good feed in. Well held by the scrum there. We've got a good set square. Carry off the back there by 9. Let's go. Charlie in the centre, taking it up the field. Good support on the outside. Good run, good run. Let's get over and support that. Good ruck over, good support. Western using the ball here, getting the hands free while it's in the dry. Let's get it out, swinging it wide. So unfortunately, I couldn't see exactly what happened there. Looks like it was unfortunately a knock-on. Again, Western looking to play edge to edge there, as they'd. Yeah, I think we might need to do some education for our cameras. I can work the thing if you want to go. I'll come over there. Hang on a sec. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we lost one camera connection and we appear to have a lopsided cameraman, but we'll work on improving those things. At least we got some coverage here. Again, scrum down, ARC feed. Okay, good drive by Western. Unfortunately, the ball is out from ARC. They chose a little chip over the top into space. Good collect at the back. Good drive. He breaks free, the Western player. Again, good recovery there. Good field positioning. And Bailey taking it up into contact. Good support by his fellow pod. Again, second pod set up, ready to go. Okay. Lack of support there by Western. Looks like we got a turnover by ARC. Again, they're choosing the first man, crashes up. Again, not a great angle here. Apologies on the commentary again. Into contact. They're keeping it tight here in terms of playing the ball, ARCR. Again, out wide this time. Trying to carry through the centres, but good defensive pressure and good clear by Western. The ball is ball's live. Unfortunately, not quite capitalised there in terms of getting the turnover from Western. Okay, clearance by ARC. Again, good pressure created by Western, forcing them into kicking. Carrying the ball up there. Good cover by the forwards. Ball out quick, out wide. Let's use the hands here, boys. Good carry again. Good clear over. Good seal there. Again, ARC generally doing well of slowing those rucks down and not giving us fast ball, but that's good hands out wide. Again, good series of play. Let's capitalise. Are we in? We in. And Western scores! Great use of the hands there and a step inside by the wing. A nice carry over. 12-0. 13. Sorry. Struggling with my maths today. That's 5 points for a try, ladies and gentlemen. We have been covering rugby for quite some time, but unfortunately, maths not obviously a strong point of this commentator. That's 13-0 to Western Washington. Again, good execution in terms of good solid carry by the forwards there, setting up the play on the edge, and then moving that ball out wide. And again, great play in terms of getting it through the hands. A step back on the inside created, and then a great try. I didn't see, I believe it was by our centre for Western. Sorry, I didn't catch the number there. Okay, George Pritchard now stepping up for the conversion, taking his time, going through his usual routine. Good connection, and it's good. It's another 2 points, 15-0 to Western Washington. So a great restart. Again, having to take some decent runs up there by ARC, but creating the pressure for the turnover again. And good through the hands to score a great try. Again, good lead coming in towards the end of the first half, about 6 minutes or so left on the clock before we get to half time. Okay. Middle distance kickoff by the number 10 ARC. Good collect. Good drive support there of the boys. Ruck form looks like we're going to manage an exit here from Western. Decent boot and distance, but kept in field and straight into the arms of ARC. Running crossfield, which is interesting, not necessarily the coach's choice in terms of where to take the ball. Let's change the angle, please, so we can actually see where we're... you can see the Western support there in camera. Thank you. Oh, is that a turnover? Yeah, knock on again. Again, sloppy play in terms of ARC. Is it on out wide? Is it on out wide? Let's see, boys. Let's get that gas going. Good run up the wing there. Great turnover play. Let's make sure the support's there. And unfortunately, taken into touch in the tackle. Hopefully now the stream has improved, taking advantage of the break, and also the weather's calmed down considerably here, which you can see in terms of lack of driving rain, which was a big difference from those that were tuned in earlier. The boys will be glad to be back out there running because they're pretty wet from earlier and wouldn't want to be sitting around in that. Let's see, it's now an ARC line out. Again, the ref's been pretty picky on the line outs, but consistently so. I think the one thing you can always ask for a ref is consistency, and certainly the Sir, she has been very consistent in terms of policing the line outs and resetting where needed. Good throw, good take by Lyndon Bailey into the centres. Looking for a gap there was Gabe Galvez. Didn't open up for him, unfortunately, but still managed to retain the ball into the first pod. Decent carry, good yardage, breaks the gain line. Was that for penalty? Penalty for coming in at the side, I think, in terms of the support play. Not sure exactly what that was for. Scrum down, ball to ARC. Must have been a knock on to by Western Washington. So again, pudding going to ARC here. We are at about 4 minutes to go on the clock before we get to half time. Again, it's going to be a short. For those that are rejoining, we have had a game delay here due to lightning. So we had a decent half an hour plus pause with still 12 minutes left on the clock in the first half. So still in the first half here, about 4 minutes left to play. Again, scrums have been fairly even. Generally, the scrums each have been kind of taking each other's weight and not really seen any major kind of competition for the ball. Again, ARC generally have been keeping the ball tight in terms of their play. Stop and play. Shout to the Western guys. Looks like Harry Moore being talked to there as the captain. Penalty against for high tackle. Appreciate the love for Jellyman there on the chat. Glad the tech's working better for us all. Again, we are certainly learning as we go with the new equipment, but again, also really appreciate the alumni investment that they've put in the tech this season to allow us to not just broadcast from home, but as you see, kind of take it on the road, which is fantastic. Again, turnover. Again, ARC generally consistent of their crashing that ball up there, but so far not necessarily causing any pain. Good clearance, but it's going to go to ARC's 14. Choosing to kick it back. Decent distance, but it's going to go just over the halfway. Oh, looking to originally look to kick, then carries up for moving forwards. I believe that was George Pritchard. Again, a ball at the back, carried forwards. Lyndon, good carry. He's unfortunately got out on his own there, but managed to roll the ball back on side. Not rolling away. So already playing advantage for the original advantage, which was a high tackle. It looks like Western is going to choose to, I think, take the points. Is that Pritchard again, I think, stepping up? Or are we kicking for touch? Oh, the jacket. Yep, we've taken the tee here. So again, looking to add points to the score and keep the scoreboard pressure. So far, Western is up by more than 2 scores. This would take it even further out in terms of 2 scores plus really 3 scores needed, because they can't get 2 scores and a penalty to if we can get to 18. Again, Richard going through his usual routine, taking his time. Steps back. Good connection with the ball. And misses wide to the left, unfortunately. ARC did not choose to tap it down, so they bring the ball forwards, choosing a kick over the top. Someone's got to claim that ball. There we go. Good work by Western. Harry Moore reclaims for the team. Good carry. Again, looks like a solid jackal. No, yeah, it's free. Solid jackal by ARC. It's a clean turnover. Again, we've got to make sure we get there in terms of supporting the players moving forwards. Penalty to ARC. Looks like offside against Western Washington. We're very close. Oh, and cynical, deemed as cynical play. Yellow co against Jericho. Flanker for Western Washington. Okay, we've restarted. Oh, still maintain just about the possession there by ARC. They're again still choosing to generally just run the ball into contact, which is not exactly paying off for them in this. We'll see if that kind of pressure and relentless tackling by Western pays off as the game rolls forwards. This time the ball is out wide, but it looks like we've got good cover by Western on the left-hand edge there. Good competition. The ball. Again, ARC still keeping it tight in terms of running into contact. Seems to be their overall game plan, certainly at least a couple of pods, and then we're going wide. Oh, ball gets loose. Unfortunately, didn't quite turn over. Must have been a knock-on somewhere there, ref. But the ball's still gone free to ARC. I would contest there must have been at least 2 knock-ons, but a playing advantage still. Has that gone put a not into touch? The ball's still live. Again, ARC working the breakdown. Ball out again. Not surprisingly, first man crash by ARC. More of the pattern again. Out to miss one. Knock on this time. And playing advantage for a knock, but the knock on must be well back up the field. If it's a knock on, it should be time. Ref still playing. Oh, it's a high tackle against George Pritchard. We must be very close to time here. If it was a knock on, that would have been time. But it's a penalty. It's choices to where ARC is going to go. My guess is they will kick for touch rather than play for the points, given the score difference. Yep, looks like their 10's grabbed the ball, taking charge in terms of kicking for touch. Looks like he's not really got it within that 5 meter zone, probably about 10 or so meters out in terms of where the line out's going to be taken from. So line out to ARC. Interesting meandering in terms of what's the setup here for ARC. Yeah, looking away from the defense, which is interesting. Lyndon Bailey trying to disrupt and get up there, but the ball does go into the hands of number 6 for ARC. Again, setting the ball, keeping it tight in the forwards again off the side. Advantage being played for ARC. It looks like an offside from the Western player. No, ball still deemed in. Out to their number 10. Good offensive pressure. But again, offside. So, oh, I think the other way round, sir. There we go. Thank you. Oh, hands in the ruck in terms of what the penalty there for this time. Okay. That was unfortunate because it did, from our angle, look like the ball was out. I could certainly understand the Western player in terms of why they had a nibble at it. But again, ARC keeping it tight again in the pods, racking up. Again, out to the 10 this time, who carries. Good defense. Quick ball. Kick wide. And looks like off a foot out the back. Is that going to be half time? Absolutely, half time. So good defense there and manages to stop ARC scoring. The score at halftime is 15 points to 0 to Western Washington. Let's go Vikings.
What a wicked half we've seen out of the Vikings and out of ARC. We saw towards the end of there how dangerous American River can be off that attack, that boot over the top, and just the chaos they managed to play. You know, sitting in some of those meetings with Western Washington that I've gotten privy to, we've gotten to witness just how, worried American River can make this Western. Just how worried American River makes the Western Washington team just with their ability to play out of chaos. I mean, you watch back some of their games; they've scored off kickoffs because it's just gone to the right player, and they played really, really wide and just ran over one or two guys. American River is ridiculously hungry for this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting though. They do seem to have a very set style of play they're doing at the moment. Generally, one or two crashes up before they start to play a skip pass, generally out to the 10 or the 12. Pretty consistent, but they certainly look dangerous if they can get those first couple of hit ups, get us on the back foot as Western, and then start to play that ball edge to the edge. And in general, Western's done pretty well in terms of defending that. I would suggest the conditions in that first moments before we had the game delay didn't really play into the style that ARC wants to play. And you can see now with the bit more dry ball, they're certainly looking dangerous now in terms of when they can actually get that ball moving.
Yeah, I mean, if I were West staff right now, I'd be really, really concerned by that attack they had just towards our side in this touchline. You saw that boot go awry from George Pritchard and then got sent back turnover after turnover, and then suddenly ARC's gone down the side and they're just near the goal line. I mean, they'd executed one more pass correctly or an offload had gone their way, and they're over the try line, and suddenly the score is within one instead of being 15-0.
Absolutely. I think the good news is that we're keeping it within greater than 2 scores, which is really now what we've got to do, maintaining the game moving forwards. The more we can keep them out by a couple of scores and just keep that scoreboard pressure on, the more they're going to feel that pressure. Definitely, I would say that looking at the ARC side, if they can maintain that structure, I think that was a bit sloppy at the end there for them deciding for whatever reason to try and kick over the top. Again, that's the pressure you kind of create by keeping that scoreboard ticking on them, that they choose not to maintain their structures and eventually look for when it's on in terms of getting it wide. So hopefully Western can stay on top in terms of the pressure itself on the scoreboard and force ARC into thinking they've got to get outside their structures and force something. I think the more that we can do that, and in general, the first 30 or so before we took the lightning break, Western was doing really well in keeping the scrums even in a situation where we're certainly at a weight disadvantage in terms of scrums. Lineouts have been pretty consistently refed and even amongst the teams. And then again, in general, it's been Western that's got the better half of the turnovers in open play, which has led to the score so far. So really, it's trying to maintain that edge. It seems pretty even in the game otherwise in the set plays.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's a lot of fun watching other teams and how they operate at this level. Coming from Western being a very set play, and we have packages that go into another package that goes to another packages, and you watch ARC and they've got a totally different methodology to how they run their lineouts. It's wicked to watch just on the West Coast itself. How teams can line up differently. I think one thing we'd like to point out, and we've said it earlier in the game, is watching how ARC keeps people unaware of where they're going to throw to by not even looking at their opposite at the defense, trying to open that way.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes it very difficult to defend where it's not clear in terms of where they're actually looking in terms of the play. It's obviously quite a deliberate strategy by ARC in terms of looking away from the defensive line out, and they're pretty evenly spaced, so it's there's no clear jumper in terms of where that middle space and where the lift's going to be. They're obviously moving to that point pretty rapidly, but equally I'd say again it's been pretty even in terms of the lineouts. I mean, largely I think I didn't really see any one turnover in the lineouts. It's consistently gone to whoever the attacking team is, and the same with the scrums. I think there's been one penalty against ARC due at a good drive by Western. Again, that was while we still had a pretty wet game as well. So I think so long as we can keep those set plays pretty even, I think it's going to come down to what happens in open play being the difference maker for this game moving forwards.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And another thing we talk about that is key is momentum. You watch like their game against San Francisco ARC. They love their momentum. They managed to really turn it into a. They really managed to turn it into what avalanche. I think is the right way to put it. When ARC starts to pop on that pressure and they get that momentum swinging their way, they kind of just open the floodgates, and I think Western might have been a little bit lucky to end the half like that and not start a half like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think clearly the weather difference has made a difference. So the weather difference has made a difference. That's an interesting use of language. But absolutely, I think the weather conditions that we had in the first part of that first half very different from where we exited in the second half itself. And I think we're going to have more of the wet weather. It looks like coming back, not as driving this time. At least Western is playing with the wind at their back if it does get up tempo. I think that was a strategic choice, is my guess, by the Western team to receive because of they were playing into the wind. Now they're going to have the wind at their back, so hopefully that will add an advantage for them should the weather get as bad as it was in the first half. Looks like we're coming back for the second half now. We've lost our cameraman, unfortunately.
Yep, we're coming back, and I'm trying to keep an eye out for him right now. Goodness me. I might go hop on one. I can see him walking over right now. I'll go hop on one real quick.
Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're just about to get going for the second half. It's going to be, again, we have 15-0 at halftime. Western Washington up in this quarterfinal of the D1AA Championships. ARC will be getting us underway in the second half. The first half was delayed in terms of finishing because we had about a half-hour break due to lightning. So it is a late game that we're playing here. We're just about to get started for the second half. Western Washington up 15-0.
You're good. I see him coming back.
Okay, just switching over to camera one. Okay, just get it. Sorry, everyone was taking a bit of a break there, including our cameraman. We have a couple of cameramen on loan from ARC helping us out here with the Western running the outside broadcast equipment. We appreciate the volunteers that have had some last-minute training to help us on the outside broadcast here. We're just waiting for the game to get started.
As I was cleaning up those cameras and making sure I got the right angles, I heard the referee chatting to Captain Harry Moore, and Harry had been asking the referee to avoid the ceiling and the rucks from ARC. Looked like it had been an issue in the first half for him. But here we are, kicked off.
Good take by Western. He's gone right through. It looks like, yep, secured the ruck there. Good ball for Western, a playoff already attacking into their half. Good carry into the middle. Ref quite in the way there. Good carry by Yonkers. Putting the gas down. He's getting that ball. Oh, unlucky. Unfortunately, knock on by George Pritchard there in terms of trying to get the ball through the hands. Again, still going to be slippy out there with the grass field, and even though the weather's calmed down, we do have a little bit of drizzle. Certainly nowhere near as bad as it was in the first half. Again, looks like a knock on to me by ARC, but the ref letting it play.
They may have just caught it and gone right to deck. Tackle made. Taking time in the ruck, though. Carry by ARC.
Okay, good clearance there by ARC, clearing their lines. But well set by Sam Schubert there in terms of being able to run the ball back. A great run. Made the first through the first line. Looks like an advantage and turned over. Or was that? Yeah, knock on by Western. Unfortunately, there initially a very good carry by Sam Schubert, but got obviously dislodged in the tackle.
Unlucky from Sam. It was, as you said, a great recovery after the kick, a great reception, ran it straight up the middle. But unlucky in the tackle. We didn't manage to catch it. Body blocked by some of the Western players. He managed to knock it on the tackle. But except for a scrum here, as we talked about earlier, they're quite even, aren't they?
They definitely something, and looks like the sun's breaking out here. We're turning to a glorious, rugby. Saturday is always rugby day. Looks like the sun's come out for us for a great second half.
Yeah, which looks whiter than ever out there.
He's cleaned up well, these boys, after getting the showers in the first half. Okay, ball off the back of the scrum again. Generally keeping it tight, looking for some help. Gel 12 makes a break. Good step. Again, tackle low. Good foothold there, I believe, by Gabe Galvez. Again, looking for some width. No, takes it back inside the 15, sorry, for ARC. Is that a... We got a hold on the ball. Good turnover. Oh,
No,
ref
away because they're rolling away. So Jerry didn't manage to get out of the ruck in time, and the jackal was a no-go as he was able to roll away before the jackal was attempted.
ARC will look to kick, get touch, get some distance from this penalty and get some line-out territory pressure. Not a bad kick, just outside the 22. Not quite in the red zone yet, but I'm sure they'll be following the pattern, a fairly tight carry off the back of this line-out from ARC. Again, ARC setting up, facing away from the defensive line-out setup of Western. Again, the ref being fairly picky in terms of the line-out. She's been pretty consistent with that, though. Initial jump. A lot of movement in that line-out this time. I think that caused more confusion than good for ARC.
Yes, I agree. No, I mean, if we're watching, it's actually the number 4 they should really key in on as a Western defense in the lineouts because he's determining where they're jumping every time, it looks like.
Western unlucky not to recover that ball.
Referee's not sure right now. She's asking them to clear. Time is off.
6 looks pretty upset for ARC. Not sure what that's about. Better talking back to the ref there.
Yeah, referee's not sure. She's going to have a chat with her touch judge or assistant referee. Apologies, give them their proper title.
This is, ladies and gentlemen, the posters where we all try and interpret the hand signals in the right way that's going on in the conversation. Looks like assistant ref saying the ball was placed back cleanly, but then some dispute where the ball was.
Looks like it was down to Western, yeah.
Great result, great result. Harry's celebrating there as he should do.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can create some pressure here. In general, the scrums have been pretty even.
Look, they call themselves the mini Pekka front row. OJ, Gus, and Chep there. They bit of a smaller front row compared to, but the power they can produce in those legs is ridiculous.
So good drive this time by ARC. That was big pressure. That was something I know Western were worrying about in terms of the pack weight advantage, and certainly we hadn't seen it until this half.
It's tackled right before.
Again, using that out wide speed, but tackle, high tackle, was that cool?
I'm trying to decipher the referee signals. A bit of the other edge of the field from us, but Western's taking a step back. So looks like it's going to be a penalty against Western. And the positive for ARC. And we can see the medics over there. We'll twist the cameras away if we can. Yeah, it looks like there may have been a poor tackle or some kind of injury. So it's going to be a bit of a stoppage time moment.
Yeah, again, I know there was worry and concern around that the pack weight advantage, and we hadn't necessarily seen that play out interesting in the first half, but certainly got a good drive on there in terms of the actual scrum itself.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, they showed that pack weight and how useful it can be starting the second half out. Just a huge drive, and then that momentum game by going all the way down that left wing for ARC is going to be massive coming into this. They're unlucky the stoppage happened with an unlucky injury, it looks like, but you know, they got to really, really build up momentum now with a 15-point deficit. There's a lot of work to do against a Western defense that's been firing on all cylinders. A little time off right now due to injury. He sat up, though, so the guy looks better than he was just laying on the ground earlier. Teams are having a chat. Referees talking with the touch judge. We're not going to show the cameras just due to the injury for now, but.
So maybe, again, just like to mention that we are here on behalf of Western Washington Men's Rugby Club in terms of doing the broadcast. And very much we appreciate the support of the Western Washington Men's Rugby Club alumni. They've made it possible this season in really helping upgrade the equipment we're leveraging to do the broadcast. We're still learning in terms of fine-tuning it, and particularly this was a great test for us to bring it on the road. But again, want to do a massive shout out to the alumni for all their support in terms of what they've done to be able to enable us to bring you this live stream.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've been attempting to migrate into our own systems. Right now, we're kind of combining what aid us from Western Washington and then what our alumni is able to fund for us. And our migration has gone really, really well. We're operating off of a lot of valuable equipment. If we say we have a really wicked budget we get to work with from the alumni, and I've been working personally with Matt Henderson from the alumni on some of these software. He's actually assisted us today via email on how to really set up and get this live stream rolling after that first pre-lightning delay. But anyways, we are back to it here in Sacramento. Cameras back on as the injury clears and the referee puts the time back on. So it's from the opposite side of the field from us at the moment.
Looks like a restart from the penalty to ARC.
Tap and go by the looks of it, I think. Or are they going to touch? No, they've tapped
tap and go. Using again the power game that we've seen them apply throughout the game. Generally keep it tight for a couple of phases and then tend to move that ball wide. Getting a good drive on this time. Western's got to stop this momentum.
Oh, Western's turned it over, it looks like. Yeah, the 15's dropping. Western's turned it over. The kick is blocked. And he scored! It's an ARC blocked and scored, reminiscent of the national quarterfinal 2 years ago when Max Stone's kick got blocked. It's a 5-point gain for ARC. Holy moly.
Again, that just shows you what pressure can create in terms of, again, trying to clear that ball quickly. And unfortunately, a good block by ARC. And anything can happen when that ball bobbles. It never bounces cleanly in terms of those rugby balls.
I mean, ARC all year has been absolute chaos merchants. They thrive on those little moments when it gets out of another team's control. And that got out of the Western's control. They stopped playing their system and started playing it to ARC's. And, you know, an unlucky bounce goes the wrong way every time in ARC's favor. And they've just touched it down. I mean, it's real positives for ARC, who's going to build from here and use that momentum we talked about at halftime to really start putting that points on.
Good time to score, only 46 minutes into the game, so we've still got plenty of the game to go. Over 30 minutes still left in this game. Again, ARC's going to hopefully now, well, should bring this back within
under 10 points, yeah.
Under 10 points. Let's see if they get this conversion. This is really critical to start building that momentum.
So it looks good from our angle. But no good according to our referees underneath the post. It's going to remain 15-5.
It's interesting because you can see just a flagging shot there. The wind is starting to get up again. It had been pretty calm since we restarted with the lightning passing through. And certainly ARC had not seen the... ARC had not been playing in quite the same weather conditions that Western had when we were in the first half. I think that was something that Western was hopingly bet, that the weather conditions would stay consistent, and they were starting to play with the wind at their backs for the second half. That hasn't been the case so far, but again, the wind is getting up, so hopefully that will give some aid by Western. Good distant kick there. They choose
just in touch.
Just in touch. ARC choosing to play, which is dangerous. So deep and out wide there. Can Western create some pressure here? Again, good tackle.
Oh, looks like we had a sub at halftime. It looks like Kellen, the number 16 or 18 for Western Washington, came on for, I believe, Gus Sorensen. I could be wrong, though.
Interesting that ARC are still choosing to play dangerous in their own 5 meter there.
But, I mean, there's why. A breakthrough and then an attempt at an offload. They're really good at these moments, just playing into the chaos.
Good low tackle.
He's got a 3-man advantage to the outside, just Elon Ashman to defend, but brought down by Jericho Ishmael, who's off after the yellow card. Wow. Big hit. And gone over the top of Kellen. The replacement prop lined up and a big smash.
Looks like a knock-on, unfortunately, though, by the big number 1.
And dangerous place to give up a knock-on, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, I appreciate their trusting their skills to try and play there, but possibly as a coach, I wouldn't consider that's the right area of the field to try and play in.
No, I absolutely agree. Having been coached by you, I know you weren't a fan of it. So
you got to strike when you're in the red zone, not when you're in your own red zone necessarily. So let's see if Western can make this turnover play. It was good pressure by Western. You know, there was a couple of potential breaks, but they got some good low leg and ankle tackles there in terms of being able to slow them down, and it paid off in the end. Here we go. Scrum's on. See, we're holding it. That's good. Good weight hold.
Twisted.
Oh, What's the
Referee's
ref
gonna blow
calling?
it. It just twisted the wrong way. It's gonna be
Unfortunately, they managed to twist it slightly, and it's been a turnover of that scrum. So
knocked on by Western. Yeah.
put in now into ARC.
I mean, it's 2 scrums now. ARC's held the advantage. The first one going totally in their favor, and this one just forcing a minor error from the 8-man or 9. I wasn't sure, from 8-man Harry Moore, who knocked it on at the back of the scrum there. Let's see if they can really load this advantage and turn it into a penalty.
Unfortunately, Western couldn't convert the pressure. Let's see if we can keep the pressure on if they choose to continue as ARC playing from wherever they are on the pitch. Again, pretty even scrum this time. We got deceptive runners there off the back, but they take the first man run in. Good.
Is it going to
be a turnover? Not quite.
ARC.
Not quite.
Oh, George!
Breakaway.
George Pritchard gone after the hair.
Oh
no.
Think we might have some trouble here.
Jesus, George.
ARC getting a lot of voices in the mix with the ref.
It looks like the fans are more angry about that than the players.
Looks like it's
It looked totally accidental. It didn't look cynical, but you got to be unlucky with the long hair wrapped up like that. And it's a yellow card for George Pritchard. The number 12 has gone off. 2 yellow cards now for Western, only 1 for ARC. Cynical play 2 times from Western, only once from the ARC. It's unlucky.
Got to keep those tackles low, boy. I certainly don't think that was deliberate. It was in the heat of the moment. They made a good break, but you still got to keep those tackles low.
And good on them for keeping everyone's heads on straight. The fans really were really bucking up for one, but both teams get their heads. And it's a breakaway from ARC. He's gone straight through defense.
Good tackle there, low, in trying to catch up with him again. But they are very dangerous once they get these runners moving.
Oh, and a big thumping tackle by the Western defense. Brought back over the gain line after initially getting carried wide. Gone over the top. Oh, it's knocked on.
Lucky.
That could go. Wow.
Playing advantage.
He's won the race, the 14. He's got 1 man to beat, and he doesn't. He wraps him up.
Bit selfish there. Didn't choose to play that ball wide.
Ball's gone back.
The advantage has been lost because they played the ball forwards. Got the advantage gain line. He's on his own. Let's get that wrap. Should be a turnover.
Yeah, should be. But no, he's been cleared. ARC's probably going to pick and go here. Oh, no.
The ref is generally letting those rucks play quite long when they get the jackals. He really
got it's Western ball here.
Ball out the side, recovered.
Jericho falls
Free
on
ball.
it. Kellen's going to pick and go, I think. Or not. Nope, 9's going to box.
Kears here is controlling the
referee's blowing it up.
Looks like we've got an injury. No,
referee's just blowing it up. Trying to decipher the calls right now.
I think the ref may be unhappy with some of the talk that's going on.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Fans not
helped by the sideline.
Yeah. No, one thing I do like about rugby is the respect, and as a fan, you have to remember the referees trying their best too here. They're also an athlete out there trying to perform their best, and we got to respect them.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
Scrum down to Western for the restart. Looks like the referee wasn't just happy with the ARC talk. This could be a positive in ARC's favor. Western managed to hold it. Oh, and it's collapsed. It looks like ARC wins it.
Pretty muddy ground there. I think we just lost our footing.
I agree. That's real unlucky for the restart for Western.
Again, on these grass fields with this kind of weather, it's definitely going to get soggy underfoot.
No way.
6 breaks a tackle, puts it wide.
Steps back to the inside.
Oh, great tackle.
Touch, Jerry. Just a wicked.
Absolutely smashed into touch. Great defense. But we can't keep playing like this, just running on our defense for over 20 minutes still to go in the game. We've got to get some possession and territory here.
It's going to be a Western line out here. Fans blocking a bit of a way for our cameras. Referees blowing their whistle. We can't really tell what right now. We're trying to watch ourselves, but quite a bit of people blocking our way.
Again, looks like a call for the medic.
Oh, yeah, that may have an injury with people on their knees. We're going to stop the clock here. Just unlucky.
Again, a lot of voices unfortunately come in for the sideline, which I do not personally like.
No.
Again, this is a game of contact. It's a physical game. Some of these things happen. That looked like a very clean tackle from my perspective.
looks like the teams are walking away, so they've been have to clear the area by the referee, and our touch judge on the far side is walking over. So yeah, we're gonna roll some ads for right now and have a quick break while the decisions are made by our referee team. Looks like the referees are having a chat about what was going
Golf
on.
carts coming out.
No. Yeah, so we've just had noticed the golf carts come over, so it looks like I'm real unlucky there. I mean, but a great tackle by Jerry Fleming, or Gerald, I believe his full name is. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about momentum. The momentum for ARC right now is really, really, really big and positive. Their ability to turn those scrums over and those chats actually worked out positively for them. When the referee disliked it and stopped play and then gave the scrum, it was managed to turn that into a turnover for themselves into a positive and gain line down the sideline. I mean, this is really, really wicked stuff here in the national quarterfinal. Remember, we are CRAA D1AA. See, the Vikings are up 15-5. We're just taking a break here due to injury. There's some chats amongst the young fans. We're listening to our cameraman right here chatting about the rules. It's always a fun thing to watch. Rugby is such a game of law changes every now and again. It's always fun to be amongst the community, and it's the younger players. You're always wondering, what's the rule change, what's the actual law, and it's eventually always up to the referee's decision in the middle of that field.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that we try and teach players is ultimately you got to play to the ref. Interestingly, rugby has laws, not rules, and it's down to the actual referee to interpret those laws into what they rule on the game itself. And you're absolutely right. There's regular changes to try and improve the game. There's been a lot of changes in terms of rules to improve the safety of the game, but in particular, more recently, game changes that have tried to really create more of an attacking balance within the sport, which I love personally. Some of the 50-22 rules, some of the other rules that have been put in play to really encourage ball in play more. It looks like we are going to get going again. Here, clapping on the field there. Looks like I believe it was the 14 for ARC that was down. We can't quite see, unfortunately, from our angle if they're up on their own. Looks like they are up on their own feet. I think they were just taking precaution that there wasn't any more serious injury by not having them move very rapidly.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just unlucky stuff. Rugby is a huge contact game, and considering by the fact that there's no hard feelings after that hit, it was just really, really unlucky.
Okay, good appreciation by the fans for both sides there.
Yeah, absolutely. Team's going to get back onto it. Waters are slowly clearing off as it'll be a Western lineout as it was carried out by ARC. 10-point game here in Sacramento for the CRAA National Quarterfinal. 54 minutes gone by here. It'll be another 26 to go. If my math is correct.
Oh, looks like the decision's been changed to a penalty.
I guess for a dangerous tackle, I would be my assumption. Fans slowly clearing out of the way of the camera. It's going to be a penalty.
Looks like again, ARC are going to tap and go. Yep, tap and go. They're carrying again, very direct in terms of the way they play. Oh, Lynn and Bailey trying to get under there. Looks like that was a double movement. I totally agree.
Wow, big drive from the Western defense. It's just absolute muddy chaos in there, and that's ruck.
Oh, ball going wide, ball going wide. Trying to hold up the player here. It's going to turn into an interesting maul, I think.
It's a maul.
It's a maul, turnover ball. Looks like Western's turned over the ball there.
No, ARC's held on to it.
Holding up, held up, held up. Western calling players across to make sure we got the defense set. Actually, ball goes left rather than we expect to the right. Crossing there, surely.
Yep, referee's called the
Absolutely. You can't shepherd in this game. There was a blocking runner there from ARC that meant that we couldn't put the proper defensive shot in from a Western perspective. So turnover to Western and a penalty to them for crossing.
Yep, I mean, from the opinion of our stream group over here, we were sure it was a double movement there on the goal line. Referee let it go. But, I mean, great stuff from a Western defense holding up such a big physical team there on the goal line. And is kicked to touch by, I believe, Yonkers.
Again, ARC is still down by 10. So a couple of tries, more than one score essentially on the board here that ARC needs. So Western just need to keep playing that territory. No need to panic at this particular play. Yeah, there's time on the clock to go for ARC. But, forcing them to attack from deep, that's hard work for them, especially in these conditions with this wet field.
Oh, good contest from ARC to bat it down, but Western wins it back.
Again, just need to set up and maintain possession here. No need to get silly. Good drive, good drive.
Miss Tui breaking.
Oh, going through 2 tackles. Nice drive. Keep him through that gain line. Oh,
wow. A quick poach, in my opinion, from the referee, considering what they've been giving up earlier.
Surely got to release the tackle.
Fans not happy with the referees.
Fans on both sides not enjoying the referee's interpretation of these laws.
No, not at all.
I would argue there really wasn't any clear release before that poach, and then the tap a judge not going from the mark that was set by the ref.
Eli Ashman
again, Eli having a go. Let's make sure we don't run away from our support here, boys. Just play it sensible. The scoreboard is on our side. We just need to retain that ball. Job number 1, ball retention.
Yep, calm and collected. Over the top from
Good kick by
Yonkers.
Yonkers. Let's get some field pressure. Good kick.
50-22, I think. Or just about, maybe not within the 22, but
certainly good field pressure. This is exactly where we want him to be playing from. Where's the signal? And where's the signal coming in terms of whose ball it is? Looks like judging.
It's going to
hang on
ARC.
stoppage here.
Oh, time is off.
Time off for the ref. Looks like substitution.
What
is it a substitution?
Yeah, possibly, or could be a
yellow
looks
card
like coming back
14
on.
Is going off for Western. Yeah, 14's going off for Western. I can see them from here.
And it looks like time's back on as lineup sets again.
Looks like a new winger for Western's come on. I can't quite see the. I think he took the 14 shirt. They just replaced jersey for jersey.
Tavoy Filivaa is on for Jerry Fleming, and it's won by ARC.
Some disruption there. Unfortunately, got an early jump up there, which allowed them to disrupt the play. That looks like gone back. Still play. This really,
Western ball.
Again, some of this wet turf that's still existing after the rain is definitely causing some loose handling on both sides out here. Attacked by Yonkers, taken up straight. Again, good over by Galvez, protecting that ball. But ball retention's key here. Let's make it pay more in this area of the field.
Carried by the forwards.
Again, good drive, good drive, good drive, good drive. Forwards getting set again.
Gabe finds the hooker. Charlie Hepp.
Let's not leave him alone. Again, just keep that ball in tight until we've got it to kill.
Western, playing into pods. Harry Moore, the captain, takes it to the outside. Spin move, but doesn't get anywhere. Kellen Lefebvre down and secure. Gabe Galvez finds Yonkers. Finds Liam Herring in 12, which George Pritchard and Eli Ashman.
Eli turns on the gas. He's going to go. He's going to go. Let's go.
The all-time scoring record. Eli Ashman once again adding to his 100-plus tries for Western Washington. A sensation of the game, especially as a Western player.
I saw that guy cause some problems for us when I was helping coach with the Silicon boys up at the Utah Sevens, and he's doing it again here.
Elite athlete. That man will tell you how to eat, and that man will tell you how to lift, and then he'll just cook you on the field.
Let's go Vikings!
Eli Ashman, a.k.a. the Viper, scores. It's going to be Yonku Yonkers to take the kick here. It's up, and it's good. Western puts on another try, making it 22-5 here in Sacramento.
Again, just shows putting yourself in the right position on that field, right? Again, creating that pressure in terms of in the right zones. That's where to play. And Western have been doing that well today in general. They haven't been trying to play from all areas of the field. They've been working the possession in the right areas and then playing from there. Interesting that ALC have seemingly turned to a game where they're going to play from anywhere. We'll see if that starts to pay off for them. But great time to score for Western in terms of keeping that momentum. Again, up by more than 2 scores in this game and keeping that momentum moving forwards.
Yeah, I mean, up by a 17-point margin. You got to be happy as a Western supporter and as a player out there. There's a little bit of calmness, but ARC managed to secure the kickoff.
Good recovery from the kickoff there, exactly, for ARC. And again, now the one thing ARC have got to be careful is not trying to turn this into someone trying to play the hero player here. Everyone trying to run it from everywhere. They've certainly got dangerous players that could make it happen for them, but they still got to work to that structure. Again, ball, generally keeping the ball free. Breaks one tackle, breaks another.
Down by Tavoy on the outside. No, sorry, couldn't tell who that was, but brought down.
Again, working the ball back the other side. They keep it tight on the edge. Waiting for the space to open up. Good discipline. Again, going back to the left. Punishing on the edge. Punishing on the edge and trying to force, I think, Western to fold in at the one edge so they can then attack on another. What's the call here?
Penalty.
Not releasing. Interesting, again, they're just running off the back there and keeping it tight. Again, I think their game plan is they're definitely trying to get Western to fold in on one side of the field so they can then really exploit opening up as wide as possible. I like the strategy.
And I mean, wicked athletes ARC has. They're elite. But, you know, and they're really trying to play off those moments of chaos. But right now they're playing into Western's hands by playing this tight to the rocket game plan they've been waiting for all week. 2 weeks, actually, since their last match. Oh, sorry, 2 weeks since spring break. Apologies for Western.
In the last 20 minutes now of this game, I would normally say that this is obviously where fatigue starts to really play a piece, but we had such a big break in the first half that
it's gone
that
backwards.
May not be a bigger factor.
To avoid Philia on it, but no, ARC recovers.
Another knock on.
Knocked on by American River.
That was a bit lucky on both sides. Unfortunate Tavoy that didn't quite manage to connect with the kick forwards. And then lucky that we actually got Tavoy had actually overrun it, therefore, and was out of position for the defense. But unfortunately for ARC, they managed to knock on at that particular point. So we'll restart with a scrum to Western Washington.
Look, and Western Washington front row has to be prepped now. This is why they probably brought on Kellen, and Reed has made the switch. So front row now after subs for OJ, a.k.a. The Juice, and Charlie Hepp. Gus Sorensen's moved to hooker as Reed plays in the loose head and Kellen Lefebvre at the tight head for Western. See if these changes make any difference in the scrum here.
Yeah, it's going to be keeping the foothold in these wet turf conditions.
And they've won the advantage. Clean scrum.
Nice position there. Again, ball's gone wide. We've got the speed going. Good tackle in the middle there by ARC.
Over the top.
Interesting kick over the top.
Galvez. Over the top.
Pressure.
Oh, it missed it. Recovered by Western Washington. Eli Ashman now has it. Brought down near the goal line. Western Washington ball just on the goal line. Well, what's that, guys?
It's okay. Sorry, we nearly got taken over line inadvertently by some toddlers playing, but we're still here. Let's see if Western can convert this pressure. Good carry in the middle, but he's got to make sure he doesn't isolate himself.
ARC is really checking all of these rucks.
Just a few hands on hips here. Oh, trying to break through that gap.
George Pritchard after his yellow card.
Trying to make up for his yellow. See if he can make a difference.
Eli Ashman in for the Viper. This try line again.
Great work there again by Initial. Some great forward play again. We always say that forwards decide if you're going to win the game, and then the backs by how much, and that's certainly the way it's playing out today. The backs are doing well in terms of when the forwards are giving them something to eat. They go convert, baby.
Yeah, I mean, all week, Tripp, the set play coach and forwards coach for Western Washington, his entire sentiment this week is you have to want it, you have to be hungry. H squared, as they say, humble and hungry. And his other thing is we win, the forwards decide who wins this game, the backs decide by how much. And for the forwards, he said that H squared is so key. You have to be hungry and you have to be humble.
So again, scoreboard pressure is going to become a real thing at this point. We're just coming up to about 15 minutes to go. Great time again to score for the Vikings. Let's see if we can get an extra 2 on the board and really make it pay.
Absolutely. George Pritchard, after the yellow card, steps up to take the conversion. Step up. Is it through? Does not look like it's going to remain 27-5 to Western.
You up? Okay. Okay, we now have about 15 minutes to go. Kickoff from ARC. Reclaimed by Western.
Liam Herring takes
good hit. Takes a good hit, but manages to still keep possession of the ball. Again, Western now have the scoreboard. They need to play sensible in terms of in the right places. Good kick over the top with a cover there by ARC. Ball's bounced a couple of times. It looks like he touched it. Is that a knock on? No, I guess not.
To avoid chase. Wraps him up in the backfield.
Running across the pitch, never advised in the game of rugby, especially when you're on your own.
Lyndon Bailey holds them up. What a strong lad. Recently just left the Carolinas after being in the USA U20 camp. He's been reinvited to make the squad of 36 ahead of the next U20s tournament.
Great work, Lyndon.
Pick and gone by ARC.
Oh, should be a clean poach. No, a judge to have to let go because the original tackler are not clean.
Offside. And again, high tackle? Looks like a high tackle from my...
ARC pretty upset with whatever that was for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, being sat here, I think the fans are more heated than the guys on the field at the moment.
Well, it's been a great season for them. Obviously, whichever team was going to lose here was going to find it hard to accept being so dominant in their league and them coming up against each other. This was always going to be a tough game to swallow, whichever way you look at it.
Eli Ashman break the first tackle, gets hit, slammed by the number 6. Peter Norris on for Gabe Galvez, the number 9. Yonkers clear over the top.
Good boot again, but well recovered by ARC, not retreating, I believe.
Referee blows their whistle. Is that an offside would be my guess, but...
Consulting with the assistant referee, it looks like.
And the captain.
Oh, back to...
where Yonku kicked it from. It's going to be an offside penalty by the or an offside call on that kick.
Oh, no. Straight on, but...
Western's...
Looks like it's going to be a scrum. Scrum down to ARC. Not sure. It must have been some kind of knock on or forward pass somewhere. But regardless, we start here just inside the 10-meter line of the western half.
ARC scrum, take it out wide. Wrapped up eventually. Referee's going to blow it up. Referee's going to blow it up. One of the ARC players isn't happy with that. Going to consult with the touch judge here. Much appreciated the community in the comments here. Keep on working in the chat. We're big fans over here. wicked game so far. ARC showing off just how athletic they are, whereas Western playing with poise and control, thriving off the chaos and momentum American River does, but this slowing down as referee makes their decisions. Oh, it's going to be a yellow shown here against, I believe that was a yellow.
Certainly looked like there was a yellow card.
Yeah. I can't see anyone going off, though. Oh, no. Hold on. Who's walking up? Eli Ashman points to himself, wondering if the Vipers committed the cynical play here.
It did look like a yellow, but I can't see who's made the walk there.
No, it looks like they're still deciding, honestly. George Pritchard takes a step back, wearing it's his second yellow. It's going to be a penalty for ARC here.
So it certainly looked like it was a yellow card against Western, but I didn't see.
Yeah,
it looks like it's number 6. Is that walking into the technical zone?
Oh, is that Kaylin Lee has received the yellow, the substitute flanker. Kaylin Lee receives the yellow. We're not sure what for. But the third yellow for Western Washington here. Only one for ARC.
If Western proceed obviously to the Nationals, that's something the coaches are going to want to clean up. Typically coming away with that kind of victory and based on 3 yellows isn't something you would expect to be able to carry. So certainly something that discipline we're going to want to clean up come the Nationals.
Yes, absolutely.
Good competition there from Lyndon Bailey, but ARC retained the ball. Called a knock-on advantage to ARC. Ball still live. Again, everyone's trying to run it from everywhere. Not really using their structure. Not held, apparently, according to the ref, and allowing him to continue. I would really call that there was a good... that looked like a good poach to me from George Pritchard, but unfortunately the ref let the ruck play out there.
Big tackles from Western, really getting at the ankles. You talk about being able to tackle low. Western's proven that today. Really shutting down. And wow, a big step from ARC. He's gone clean through, wrapped up by the fullback, Sam Schuver. I mean, just how dangerous they are in these sudden moments of momentum. Huge goes, and Western holds them up right at the gain line. I think Western's turned it over. Yeah, they have. It's gone wide to Eli Ashman. Spins out of one tackle, but the referee blows it up.
Pull back again.
A lot of stoppage from the referee today.
Referee pulls back the quick
notices in the college, talking about college eligibility in the comments here. We should clarify every single one of these players was cleared by CRAA with at least a week ahead of today's match. There is no eligible players on the field for either Western or ARC. Just wanted to clarify that for everyone. And a huge tackle from Western.
Not our opinion if anyone overheard that on the microphones. I think, again, ref, it's a tough job. If you're willing to step in the ring and ref, you're allowed to make the comment. If your first answer when you make that comment is against the ref is, I wouldn't ref myself, I think you should probably hold your words to yourself too.
Looks like it's referees having another chat with the touch judge. Ask the captains to step away. Lot of stoppage time here. Apologies, I forgot to stop the clock, actually. A lot of stoppage time here.
Clock on the side is still saying just over 9 minutes to go across the other side of the field, it looks like. They do have the stoppage managed there, but ultimately it's going to come down to what the ref decides on their watch. Again, interesting, normally in these kind of games, fatigue will really start to play a factor at this particular point, but given the big stoppage in the first half and a lot of how slow the game's been here with stoppages, that's probably not going to be as big an impact. Looks like there is a Western play coming off. I don't know if that's a substitution.
It could have been another yellow. I think there may have been another yellow. Western's playing 13 men, 2 down.
Yep, high tackle. That was a penalty against ARC. Again, defense holding up for the moment, but again, they're going to crash through.
Big drive. Referee's trying to figure it out. And it's held up, I believe. Western holds up the ball.
It looks like the judgment is held up.
Yeah, referee doesn't signal for a try. Western players trying to signal for the held up, where ARC trying to signal for the try. Referee's going to have a chat with the touch judge or assistant referee, but it looks like a held up. I believe, or not. Yeah, referee is chatting with the assistant referee, trying to
Sending
determine.
those players away, trying to organise.
Yeah, American River staying near. Looks like a held up, assumed by both squads.
Try given.
Try given. ARC absolutely happy to come away with that, making it 27-10.
I didn't see the position of the assistant ref there, but interesting that really the assistant ref made the call there.
Yes, I agree. Second time now after the yellow card down here against Jerry Fleming was also made by the assistant referee.
Again, Western not helping themselves, down to 3. That's 4 yellows now in the game for Western.
Yeah, 4 yellows compared to ARC's 1.
If you're the coaches for ARC down, 4 yellows to 1, you'd be really disappointed that the score is this far apart. They've really not punished Western in terms of having those yellows in the game. And again, from a Western perspective, something that we're really going to need to look at cleaning up as we go into nationals.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good.
It's a good conversion, 27-12 now to Western Washington. So again, a 15 points difference, still more than 2 scores out, but still a good amount of time given the free-flowing nature of the play that ARC have, particularly with this many gaps that are going to be on the field with this yellow. Looks like we have just had a substitution from Western. Number, I think Jericho, is it? I think 6 has just come off. Not sure who came on for. Good take by ARC. Again, let's try and keep the pressure in them in their 22 if we can. Play in the right areas of the field just to wind down this clock.
Yep, ARC trying to scramble, get within the last 8 minutes to make up a 15-point deficit. That's 2 tries with conversions plus more. Either a penalty
Going back, they're still running. They're still running from everywhere, but there will be space. Blocking again, there will be space.
Hit by Seamus, more 2.
Again, slow down that ruck, get that line set. Carrying up in the middle, we know what's coming. They're going to run that ball. Ball comes free this time. Reaching into the hands into the ruck, deemed against Western.
They're going to tap and go quick
that.
here.
They've tapped and gone already. Refs letting it play this time. Again, running from everywhere.
Hit. Fergus Moore's gone out. He's gone over the top of Fergus Moore. Picked and went into the gap. Peter Norris makes the tackle.
Oh.
Or sorry, Liam Herring. Apologies, not Peter Norris. Oh.
Ref standing in the way, 12 standing in the way. Difficult to get a shot on what's going on here. Ball looks like there's going to be a top over the top for the 12, looking at the space.
Catch. Oh, referee's going to blow it up. Fans are happy with the call. No angle on the referee here.
Not sure if whether it was an offside called because of he didn't get his players on side. Oh,
penalty, high tackle.
High tackle this time.
Against Western in favor of ARC.
Too many of those happening, frankly, today for Western. Definitely got to work on that tackle height. Okay. And swallow up this pressure. About 6 or so minutes to go for Western, but ARC are back in the red zone. And they've generally started to really make this pay whenever they're in the red zone, the last this half in particular. Western had really a first half where they were playing against totally different conditions than ARC have had to play in.
Yes, no, I agree. Absolutely. That defense. Big line out. This matters a lot
Number
for American
4.
River.
Let's watch the same man jumping again.
Poor defense from Western. That was an easy read, in my opinion. But a big maul. Kalen Lee separates through, and it's just collapsed. Great sack from Western. Sorry, sack would make it illegal.
Again, they're just going to, that 6 is going to run. You know where it's coming. Linden takes him down. Good work, Linden, there in terms of blocking 6. He's a big boy. Okay, we've got to, again, ball spinning wide. It's gone well out wide. Can Western recover? Yes, we got the ball.
Oh, no, Sam Schuver
sends it pay. Make it pay.
No one's there.
Keep that pressure. Keep that pressure.
Oh, it's booted. It's going to go out the back, I think.
It's still in play, looks like.
No good, the referee says. No good.
What's the call going to be here? It did look like it was. It didn't go out, but difficult to judge from here. And again, it looks like the assistant referee was well out of position to help this time.
Yeah.
If that ball's in play, there's no reason in my mind why there wasn't downward pressure there and being a try. Is there a decision been made here? Fans starting to already celebrate and book their tickets, I think, from Western in the crowd here. I think they're going to have a decent following in Indianapolis, but let's not count the chickens too soon.
Oh, this is exciting. It's going to be scrum down Western Washington. Seamus Toohey putting in at 9. The flanker.
Interesting. Must have been a knock-on before that ball went forwards again. Is it Western's put in? Yep. Western's put in, so let's see if we can at least maintain the ball, if not put pressure on. Oh, recovered by ARC. Again, them interestingly choosing to run it. They got a long way to go. Whistle.
Forward pass.
Scrum down for Western again. Looking like just under 3 minutes on the clock as I read the clock officially on the field on the opposite side. Again, we'll be playing to whatever time the ref wants to call, but it's going to be difficult to come back now from more than 2 scores down for ARC. I mean, they've
15-point deficit.
And credit to them. I mean, they've really played hard today.
Yeah.
Definitely a very talented team. I think it's a shame for them the weather wasn't actually better probably in the first half. I think they struggled, or both teams did, but in particular they didn't take advantage of the wind to their backs. Again, doesn't really see that set their style, I guess.
Thanks, Jaden Grace, my roommate in the comments, making sure my apartment's clean. Much appreciated. But anyways, let's get seriously back onto this. Referee starts time on again.
Western just need to take care of this clock now.
Yep, absolutely.
Keep that tight. Let's maintain that ball. Couple of minutes to run down. Looks like it's being run off the back.
8-man Harry Moore wrapped up by an ARC defense, just swallows him up. And ARC's turned it over. Playing in the chaos, ARC manages to get a huge steal right in their own goal line, preventing the try. Played out wide quickly to the winger. Steps, but gets wrapped up. Huge clear out, just holding on to him in the backfield. Plays out wide. They're just playing hands.
Good hit.
Liam Herring, number 13, clear out.
Ball's
ARC
wide
over
again.
the top.
Take your man. It's one-on-one tackle time.
Missed 2 tackles, but they made it.
Again, remember, Western is still down at least 1 player, I believe.
Oh, Fergus Moore. Guess the ball was out, and a great decisive tackle. Over the top again.
Wide again.
To the winger who's gone free. George Pritchett gets there, stiff-armed. He's gone. He's wrapped up, though.
Oh, good recovery tackle.
Playing into the chaos. ARC is
a jackal? No. Again, they're still
out
playing.
wide. He's put the boot on. ARC's on. Tavoy Filia'a under pressure. Misses the pad kick. Recovers it himself.
Take that ball out.
Oh, he's knocked it on. He's given it over to ARC. He's played it. Stiff arms 1. Wrapped up the 2nd. Sam Schuver over the top. It looks like he's got the poach, but we're not sure yet.
Poach. Yeah! Poach. Great work there by Sam Schubert.
Wow.
Tavoy doing really well there back on his own. Couldn't maintain against the 3-on-1, but good support there, covering back by Sam Schubert.
Yeah, Sam
great
Schuver
cover.
and Tavoy. Great work rate from Mr. Filia'a and Mr. Schuver, young Sam Schuver, getting a huge poach right here in the closing minutes.
Like a bit of cramping there going on, but he's up on his feet.
Wow. This is wicked stuff.
Again, clearly the game has gone for ARC at this point, but again, they're showing heart, still playing that attacking style that they love to play.
Yeah.
As you say, playing to that chaos. And big shout out to them. I mean, they've had a fantastic season.
Yes,
going unbeaten. They've really they haven't just beaten teams, they've pumped them into the ground. So this was, I know, a team that Western was worried to come and play. But again, Western showed their class in keeping to their structures, playing hard on defense. And congratulations to the Vikings boys for a great win.
Absolutely. Coming here in the last 30 seconds or so, it has been a great match today. But ARC, really exciting to watch. You go back and watch any of their games, and they are electric. They're just unlucky that they played Western Washington in the quarterfinal, not the semi. Both these teams were heavyweights.
Should be down to about the final play, I think, now.
Yep.
Good take.
Oh,
still
great
good
contest, though,
good
from
competition.
ARC. Booted
Interesting
out the back
boot.
of horse. Gus Sorensen.
Gus showing the skills there, and the ball's on. It's on if they can get it wide.
Gets a poor pass out wide to Ned on the touch, who boots it into touch.
Well, creative play there by Gus.
ARC plays quickly from the touch.
Again, ARC have not given this game up. They can't really win it at this particular point, but they're certainly still playing. Respect to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, thumping carry from the ARC boys. We're going to try and secure a post-game interview with a coach. We're not sure which one as of yet. We're waiting on a word from the sidelines.
The Western boys, I can see on the sideline, eagerly waiting for the clock to tick. They're eagerly waiting on. I think the celebrations will be long tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It might be away, but they'll find somewhere to go. Knocked on by ARC. Just a engulfing defense, swallowing them all up. This should be game time.
Yeah, this time we're down to the ref's watch at this particular point.
We're on our clock, and I think we're over on the clock on the far side. So it's just the referee in the center who has a different time due to stoppage than us. All the lads here, all 30 of them on the field, and the other boys on the benches really played their hearts out today. It's just unlucky for ARC that Western's come out on top. Shout out to the coaching staffs helping all of these boys get here ready for today's quarterfinal. Great showing of what
just
rugby
need to
can
get
be
that
in the
ball
USA.
out. Let's get that ball out.
Yeah, it's Western ball, and it's swallowed by a ARC defense. Really playing with some heart in the dwindling minutes here. Testing that ruck, trying to shove it out and about. Goes to Yonkers, finds touch.
Ref still letting the clock play.
We're still playing.
Still plays. Looks like the ref still believes the time on the watch.
Yep, looks like there's still time to play here. We're in the 82nd.
Going to be an ARC line out.
Yeah, going to be an ARC line out after clear from Yonkers, the South African.
The man for Coach T on the mic.
Oh. Big carry. Reed wraps him up, but he gets the
good line out take again. Getting that first pod and crash up. Now
trying to search for that last try.
Trying to find that 14 carry. Spin. And try.
See, making it 15-27. Or sorry, 17-27.
Unfortunately, it will be too little too late.
Yep, exactly. Too little too late is a great way to put it. Applying the pressure in these last couple minutes, just too late.
But a big
Oh, I love that out of Mr. Chambers, the Colson man of the match. Who would you give it to today?
Oh, that's interesting. I think it's tough not to give it to one of the forwards, given how much they've really worked hard on the structures to win that game. But I think that Mr. Lightning on the outside, our
Viper,
own Viper,
Eli Ashman.
Yeah, Ashman. I think he has to, with 2 tries, he takes the glory, but he should be definitely sharing the bottle of champagne with his forwards.
Absolutely. I mean, this was a big battle up the front. Making a full front row change, except for Gus Sorensen, who played a full 80 in the front row.
And that's
clearance. They go to celebrate. Gus Sorensen showing how big of a man he is, shaking hands. A huge, huge win here. The first time since 2012 Western Washington has won this match.
Again, huge congratulations for the great season that ARC had. They really showed themselves particularly well in that second half. They certainly made it tough for the boys. But Western D'd up, as you have to in these tough competitions. And it's a great day for the program on its way to Indianapolis in May, baby.
May 1st. Catch them live on CRAA. I believe we'll be live streaming it then. But a huge, huge win, 27-17 here in Sacramento for Western Washington University in the national quarterfinal. I mean, as I said, the last time they won this was 14 years ago in 2012. And this year, coach Adam Roberts contracted on alongside his staff with Paul Horn, the director of rugby, Alan Law, and Trip Mariotto, led by Captain Harry Moore, Vice Captain Liam Herring, beating this American River team who showed some absolute class playing in those moments of chaos, but just really, really unlucky to come across an engulfing.
Switch to camera one.
An engulfing.
Let's switch
Western
to camera one. You can see
defense.
the boys there coming over to thank the fans. Great work from them. Coming over to celebrate a great victory today for the program. Great progress in terms of the way program. And next year they will be a D1A team as well. So this is appropriate in terms of taking their bid to nationals moving forwards. Let's go! See ecstatic faces there, people celebrating with their fans and parents. You can see all the great support that's come out today. Again, it's a great community that rugby builds, and in particular, it's great to see so many of the families and friends out here of the players, given the traveling from many parts of the country to be here to support their players today. Again, it's truly a family sport, and again, massive respect. IRC also had really great numbers out here today. Jericho showing some love to the camera there, baby. Again, great work by Western, and great congratulations to all the program itself. Stand by. I believe we're going to try to get some post-match interviews. George is on the camera right now in terms of giving you some of the celebration shots for those that can't be here in person. Remember the actual finals, so there'll be a semi-final and final game, assuming they win that semi-final game in Indianapolis the week of May 1st to 3rd. Book your tickets now. Again, the support really does make a difference, and you can see there's great support here today. Hoping to see even more of you up there in Indianapolis as Western Washington goes for its D1 AA title.
Sweet. All right.
All right, we are stood here with Eli Ashman, our Colson man of the. Oh, sorry. We're stood here with Eli Ashman, Colson man of the match. Eli, how did that go for you?
Well, I was a bit nervous coming in. This was my first time playing in about 10 weeks. Had a little bit of an injury, and so I strapped it up, got a shoulder brace on, and I knew the boys wouldn't really need my shoulder. They more need these guys down here. So yeah, it was a good one. Loved playing against ARC. We don't get that kind of physicality up in Washington. Those boys, they hit, man. They were hitting, they were whacking, and it was a good one. And you know, if your winger scores 3 tries, it means your team's doing something right.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, hat trick out of it. It is wicked, wicked stuff out of you. Talk about a scoring sensation. You're the current try score title holder for Western Washington. Is that correct?
Yes. I think I beat that record this year. Hoping to keep it. It only took me 5 years to do it. Extra time to do it, so yeah.
Well, now we're clear of the quarterfinals. How do you feel going to the semifinals, either against San Jose State or Arizona?
I just, you know, I think it doesn't matter who's in front of us. I think if we control everything that we can, it'll come out good for us, and I think this is our year. I don't think it doesn't matter if it was, you know, Arizona, ARC, or, you know, even the All Blacks, right? So we're just going to come out here, and we're not going to worry about who we're playing. We're just going to do what we can at practice. We're going to focus on what we can control, and we're going to win this national championship.
Wow. Thank you, Eli Ashman, the Viper, Colson man of the match.
Thank you.
Have a lovely evening. Up the Vikings, baby. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to call the live stream there.